No, probably not. We had a great trip. Certainly the ending was eye-opening and tragic. It was literally right outside our hotel, and we had some people see some things that you don't like to see. So it was, really made the last 24, 48 hours of the trip difficult. But we're all safe, sound, and we were very blessed that our group was. There was a few minutes there where we were all a little concerned. Did we have all the players? Did we have all the boosters? Did we have our academic advisor, Leslie, and her husband were out of pocket and were actually out in town, and we couldn't get a hold of them for a while, so we were all a little nervous. And the hard part about what you don't know, what you don't see, is the place where it happened is the most, it's the pedestrian mall of Barcelona, and it's packed, literally wall to wall, people on vacation, and so it was really just a horrific incident, and it literally happened right outside our hotel.
Don't you like to have teaching moments? What kind of a teaching moment or experience was this?
Yeah, well, and obviously the whole trip was a teaching moment. We concentrated on that, and we several of our guys are involved in a class that we were lucky to have organized. We've done this twice now, and I feel the best thing to do is to turn it into a class, because it kind of forces the guys to take everything in and really try to learn about a different culture and a different place, and we certainly try to do that. Dr. Moore went on the trip with us, and she was fantastic. The guys have had 3 to 4 weeks of class before we went. They had some projects they had to do while we were on the trip. They'll do something when they get back. So that part of it is really good. And then obviously what happened yesterday certainly served as a teaching moment. We got together at the end of the night and kind of all hugged each other and put our arms around each other as a big basketball family, and said a prayer or two, and we were very thankful that we were able, number one, to go on a trip like that, but also number two, to realize that unfortunately it's a very difficult world we live in now, and there's going to be tragedy and things you can't explain, but it surely is a teaching moment that every day is a blessing, and we should all be very thankful that we have our health and are able to do the things we do and live in the country we live in.
For the guys that saw that, you're going to have something for them where they, because that's
yeah, we will. We've already had some folks, Milt Louder and some people in that area. Natalie Honan, I think, is in charge of that area now. They've already reached out to me, and we're all obviously just kind of taking it all in, and Dante is somebody that saw a little bit more than others. Mark Donnell, I think, those guys were kind of like in and out of that street area within a minute of when it happened. And there's some boosters some folks that were in an area where you could see some things that were difficult to watch right after. And then they kind of quarantined the whole, really obviously where it happened, but then also within our hotel, they got everybody out of the lobby, they got everybody out of the restaurants and put everybody up in their rooms. So it was, it was handled well, but it was difficult there for a while.
Any qualms with doing this again, Coach?
No, I don't think so. I think you want to be careful, and one of the reasons why we chose Spain is they hadn't had any incidents like this in a good while. I know some other teams. There's a lot of teams. Oregon State was in our hotel. Arizona was in a hotel a mile up the street. And there's teams all over Europe right now. But I do think we do take that into consideration. We certainly do as much due diligence as you can. You don't want to live under a rock and not get out and see things that you think can be good, but at the same time you need to be smart about it. And you can't ever predict it. And this was a difficult last 24 hours, but the first 9 days were unbelievable. Our guys had an unbelievable experience and great life experiences, things you can't teach, and things that we take for granted living here that you see that you appreciate, and then some things that they do that are interesting as well. And so I think from that standpoint, just being able to do all this and spend the kind of time you do with your team together, and some great boosters and fans that went with us, and it's really meaningful. these kinds of trips are really, really meaningful in terms of the way to deepen relationships with players and coaches and fans.
I heard that y'all were
Hey guys,
15
real
minutes.
quick, we'll keep Coach here, but we're going to get started with the student athletes so
Go
they're
ahead.
not just hanging out as well.
I
Yes,
heard
sir.
you were 15 minutes from getting on the bus to go to the game.
We were. We had it basically happened right when we were kind of finishing up, or we finished up pregame and we were kind of in the process of leaving to go to the game. And so there was a couple people that were in the lobby already, and others that were just kind of coming down as it happened.
So very blessed then.
Very much so. Yeah, very blessed. It was. It was a lot closer than people realize. It wasn't just like we were in Barcelona and it happened somewhere in Barcelona. It was on the street we were on.